Hi, this is Darren from ANBO Manufacturing from the state of Washington, bringing you our new ANBO Mechanical Grapple. We just released it, it's patent pending. The Mechanical Grapple is something we came up with because a lot of you guys out there don't want to pay that extra cost in hydraulics, couplers, feed lines, all that kind of stuff. And if you're not doing it professionally, you're just doing it around a ranch, your home, stuff like that, this is a great grapple without having to add the hydraulics. The one thing nice is this comes fully assembled with AR400 formalloy steel. So we're putting quality steel in it yet, not your 50 or 80 or even 36, which we see on some. Also doesn't come in a box that you have to assemble. It's all welded up just like a regular grapple. We're going to go ahead and unpackage it now. I just wanted you to see how it would come to you on the pallet. Literally, you put a bar in the back, hook it up, and you're up and running. So it's very quick and easy. What we'll do here first is just cut our straps. We'll get both of them cut. And then from there, we'll go ahead, and I won't bore you with cutting all the packaging off. We'll go ahead and do that and then continue from there. So I'm going to show you something that we discovered with this new mechanical grapple. We discovered it wasn't just the mechanical grapple. We've had other grapples pull off of the front of the tractor, and people have been struggling as to why it does that. If you look at this quick attach, and I put a straight edge on it, is we've discovered that there's a setback on some of the attachments or the quick attaches out there. Instead of coming flush all the way up, they've taken the top bend and they've recessed it back 3/16 of an inch or so. So that's why we've gone ahead and put the shim on here. So like Coyote tractors and some tractors that have that setback, you're going to want to have the shim on, because what happens is the quick attach will wedge up into this and it'll work the pin out of the bottom and pop it off, and then your grapple falls right off. So if you have a flat all the way attachment, then you'll take the shim off and it can go right up in and it won't work out. So I just want you to know out there that this shim is there for a reason, and check your front, because this will be a problem if you don't have a setback on it. All right, the one thing that we really need to know to make sure everything's going to work properly is for you to make sure this is straight all the way up, or if it has a setback for the shim we talked about. The second thing is we're going to ask for is the length of this tube from this end to the other end, because that determines which sleeve or spacer we send you, and the diameter of the tube determines which cone is going to fit that. So those three measurements from this hinge point to here, the diameter and the length of your tube. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take all these parts off of the end so we can slide it through the tube. So you're going to take the pin off, you're going to take the washer off, you're going to spin this nut. We'll get the nut off of there. Then your sleeve will come off, or spacer, and the cone. So the size of the diameter of that pipe that I was asking about is because we have two different cone sizes that we'll send out depending on the diameter of that cross tube on your loader. So you want to make sure we have that measurement. So we'll go ahead now, and all you have to do is pick one side up, and you'll take this whole assembly, you'll slide it right through up against your cone, and we'll go ahead and start putting it together on the other side. We'll slide our cone in, we'll put our sleeve on, we'll go ahead and put our nut on. To get her started, get her on the wrench, you can just go ahead and spin down. If the whole cross tube spins on you, the crossbar, you can do as you show over here. You can just put a screwdriver in the end and have somebody hold that, and that'll get that thread cut. When it's brand new, we get a little paint on there, and sometimes it might go a little difficult at first. This is Brooke, my daughter, that's helping me out today. She does a lot of our marketing and whatever.
Random stuff.
Okay, so what I did is I took a tape measure, I measured both sides, got them to where the spacing is the same from here to the nut. She's gonna hold that there so I can go ahead and just snug this up. And it doesn't take much effort on that side when you get close. And you can see I can tighten it up. Okay, and you can tap that with a hammer if you want, like a dead blow or something like that, and that'll snug that up for you. All right, then with her holding it on that side, I'm gonna go ahead and hit this, lock it down nice and tight. And the one thing you'll wanna do with this is check it, because when we seat this in here, your edges are gonna be sharp, and with a little work, it's gonna kinda work into that. So you wanna, after the first time of using it, just throw this back on, and then just reseat it again and make sure it's tight. Then after that, go ahead and throw your washer on each side, and then we're going to go ahead and hook up to our grapple. So the one thing I want to stress again is make sure we get the space from the nut to the end even on each side. So we've got that, we have it locked down. Now we're ready to put the grapple on. So the one thing when you come back to this is when you hook up here, the rake is going to spin down. This will get locked up in here. So you want to take these and you want to spin them down and hang them before you come into the grapple. Now that we've gone into it, we've rolled it forward, we have it in under our supports here, we're going to go ahead and lock the grapple into place. There we go. All right. Next step is we're going to go ahead and take our links and hook these up. We're going to slide them on the end. And this rake is loose, so you can just roll it forward. So we just bring it forward, slide it on, that easy. Put the clip on. And you're all hooked up. We'll do the other side the same. And then you can just turn this one to get it to where it lines up. Then you slide her on and then just get that to where it's the same. And you can count threads. We'll get into that. I'll throw this one on. And you are hooked up. These come with a little lock. You can lock it in position. So what I can show you here now, depending on where I want the rake angle, this is the adjustment for that. I can just change that angle. If you see I'm moving this, I'm moving the rake. So if I want it out flatter, I tighten it up, and then when I lengthen it, it brings it back. So you can unhook one side, just turn this till it pops off, and then I go back over here, and I just turn this now because it moves freely. I can just literally just spin this out, and you can see that rake where it's changing the angle. And I can just run this out where I want to run it out to, and it's that simple. Now when I go back over here, I want to hold this head so that it stays in the same position, and then I want to spin this out. You just keep going till you get to your pin. You can slide it on there, get to where it's kind of loose so that you're in the same position, and put her on. Then these you can spin down, and it just locks it. Now that I've got them both hooked up, the one thing I do want to show you is when I'm trying to change this and I get to where it's binding, because I'm lengthening this thing out, so I'm trying to get further, and all of a sudden it binds up, and it's like there's quite a bit of adjustment on this. Well, if you see here, I'm up against the grapple. The rake and grapple are touching each other. So I need to actually roll the grapple forward to get a space in here so that I can put them where I want them. So I'll go ahead and do that now, and you can see what I mean by that. So now you see I've spaced this out here. Now this will turn freely and I can put it where I want. So you always have to have one side disconnected and one side connected till you get your adjustment where you want it. It just makes it easy. Otherwise you can have two people, one on each side, spinning each one, and you can do them together. But if you're by yourself, just pop one side off, and then you can see how freely this turns now. You can just, I can literally go way out. Lock it in position. Take this one again, hold the head, and then just spin this out. And the reason I hold the head, if I don't, this will turn with it, and then it throws the thread distance off on each side. You want to keep them even. There you go. Lock her in. There we're in. Now that the installation is done, we have everything adjusted, locked in place, spaced out. Threads are the same on all the ends so that we know they're even, so that they work together. If one's short, one's long. And you can do that by just checking the tightness of them and then just lock it. And it really won't go anywhere anyway once you're at that point, but you can lock it in. And then what I'm gonna do is go ahead and operate it here. So I'm gonna go ahead and start up here. And if you watch this here, so you can see it now, and come all the way down closed, all the way open. It'll hit up against the rake, and we're installed and ready to operate. And I can show you the angle difference with an adjustment here, which I was showing. I can extend the lengths way out, or I can shorten them up. And by doing that, that causes the rake to sit more flat for coming in under plywood or things that I want to be more flat on and pick up. Or if I'm going to lift this way in the air and I dump in a trailer, I want to have that bottom rake down as low as I can so that the material dumps. And if you see, I have control of that bottom rake now to a point where other ones just flop until you bring it all the way up against your arms. So you can see how that operates there. And you are ready to go. No hydraulics. All right, it is ready to go to work. All right, I just wanted to show you again how far we have the rake down. Again, so you can go up on a trailer, because on the other mechanical grapples, they flop back and they hit up against the back up here. So you have no control to be able to, other than laying it down on the ground trying to get it. But when you clamp, it has to go to this position again to be able to grab your material. In this one, that would be the same position. I have the other side unhooked again. So what I can do is just spin this one now, and you see the rake moving. So we can take this and I can shorten this all the way up, and you can see now how that is rolled way forward. So now I've just changed from being way back here to way up here, to where now I can go in under stuff, grab it, and it'll stay in that position and pick it up. So with a quick adjustment, I just go to the other side and do the same thing, put it in the same position. And I will say on our competitors out there, the difference is, to do this, there's 4 bolts that you have to unbolt, slide it together, 4 bolts each side, all that before you can do what I'm doing right here. There we go. And we are hooked up. Now your rake is way forward. So Just gives you quick adjustments to where you want it. Again, you can dump into a trailer with this way forward. In some situations where you're really high, you might want that bottom rake down lower. But it gives you the options. If you want to come over something, pick it up like this, or if you want to pick it up like this, it's a quick adjustment versus unbolting everything and bolting it back together. Another thing you have to do is you have to take your stands off of here if you run the other brands, because that comes back and hits that and it can bend that up. So the advantage to this also is that you don't have to worry about taking anything apart or changing anything down here. It literally just goes into your tube, quick adjustable lengths. This will come up, this is your stop on the top side, comes down and hits down here, and it's your stop on the bottom side. So you're not loading, or you've seen some where they've had out there where they've snapped the bottoms out because your breakout force is so strong on, it's more than your loader lift, and you can actually rip out your pin locks, and you're not loading it that way with our grapple either. All right, the one thing I do want to stress again in the end here is the measurements that we need. That would be, again, from the tube down to the hinge point of your quick attach. So we need to make sure we get that measurement, the distance of the tube from one end to the other, and the diameter of the tube, so we get you the right cone. And with that width of your loader, you will get a different sleeve on here or spacer that will match up to your loader. So we have two different cone sizes, and then we cut the sleeve to match your loader. For every mechanical grapple, you'll receive a wrench with it, so you don't have to worry about these big nuts that you have to tighten down on here. It'll come with a wrench for that. The only thing you may have to provide is a screwdriver on the other side to hold it, to lock it down. We're excited to offer this new mechanical grapple. I think it's superior to anything out there. We have another video that actually shows it in operation. We're doing logs, we're doing cleanup and all that with it. Go watch that if you want to actually see it in action. This is more of just the installation of it. If you want to pick one up, give us a call, fill out the form, and we'll get you taken care of. Thank you.